What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines, the town of Woodgarden, with part 3 of our campus build on Woodgarden for the week. I think after this one, we might pop over to a different city next week and look at one of the other schools. Mechanics are going to be exactly the same. It's just kind of a different look and feel to the different types of schools. Whether you're doing university, trade schools, or liberal arts. I don't know why that doesn't roll off my tongue right. Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. Our campus is doing pretty well. We go into the inspector tool and inspect on the university. We're about halfway through the academic year. We've got plenty of students, just enough attractiveness, and we should have a successful academic work at the end of this school year. We'll keep an eye on our capacity. We're at 2,700 of a possible 3,450, so we'll need to add some more dormitories in. I did smooth this out. It was ridiculously bad before. It's still a little lumpy in some of the parking spots, and this is bad, but I flattened out the area a little bit more to make some room, but I've got to smooth things out a little bit better over here. It's a little crazy, so let's just try and soften this up a little bit. Flattened it out a little bit too much, and it was an uneven terrain, so we're probably going to need to build back into here. So I'm thinking that maybe we level a little bit more and do some different building options down behind the campus. So we'll flatten out more than we need to. Do some stuff back here. And then again, we've got enough room where we can smooth out that slope before we get to the edge of the map to kind of make it look like it's tucked in the mountains up here. Or not the mountains, I guess, the hills. Definitely some of the newer campus maps. Too much soil. Oh my god, I haven't had this problem in a while on this map. Where do we put it? We can put it back over here for now. Let's level this back out. Ditch some of our excess soil. We borrowed a ton of soil from over here at one point. This used to be a much larger island. And if I recall, I don't think the casino island was here. I think this is all built up for the casino. But we've got a little bit of space to work with. We're cranking along at 3 times speed. Let's just see where we're at. Academic year. Two-thirds of the way through. So I want to try and slow things down and kind of keep an eye out for toga parties at the end of this year. Hopefully we'll get lucky and catch one in the act, storming across our campus. We're quickly approaching capacity on our dormitories there. So let's get a neighborhood, if you will, kind of in behind here. So I think we left just enough room to get a road through here. We'll do grass line streets if it lets us. And let's make sure we can kind of evenly zone if we wanted to on both sides. This should come out to the end of that street. Let's do that so that we can connect this through. And then we'll do another one over here that maybe connects there. We'll see in a minute. We'll come out further than we need. And go like from this spot to there. That's pretty straight. But that gives us a little bit of room for expansion back here. Let's, just to mix things up, we'll add a couple more dormitories over on this side. And again, these don't need to be on the road. So, I mean, I guess they could be. It's fine. Let's do one kind of on the edge here. And right there. A couple more dormitories. We need water apparently back here. Come back with another 440 worth of pipe. And we'll just make sure all this this back area here. So come on, snap. Okay. Hey, snap. Okay. So again, let's take a quick look. I don't want to get too far ahead. I want to see where our year is at. I feel like it should be going faster, but I guess not. So every building that we add adds some attractiveness. And I think, do parks and stuff affect attractiveness? Let's test that theory out. So if we check one more time, where's our attractiveness at? 505 of 450. Let's go into parks. How about a basketball court? Maybe kind of over here on the edge of the edge of the dormitories where that kind of meets up with some of the housing. So we'll drop that in. Let's see if parks have any impact on the attractiveness. They do not. Okay. So ditch that. Sorry, guys. Game's over. Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So it looks like we have to kind of stick to campus buildings, but we could definitely cram in like a fountain over here, over there. Some of the smaller buildings. Let's see what we can cram in. Can we do another outdoor study over here? Whoa, what's up with that? Okay, refund. We'll flatten a bit more. Ooh, that metro tunnel. So back in, let's try another outdoor study and see if that's a little better. We do have that lump where the metro tunnel is, so let's see if we can. Will smoothing work for that? I guess it will. To some extent. We'll fill it in with some trees and kind of hide that. Hide that little plateau there. So I think I'll, again, I mentioned this in a previous episode that I'm going to get all the buildings in here and then we'll probably end up moving stuff around quite a bit. But we're off to a pretty good start. I think I mentioned I was a little impatient and was worried that we weren't filling up with students, but now that does not seem to be a problem. We do have some other problems cropping up, though. Interestingly enough, I had not had problems with commercial areas. I had no problems with my commercial areas for a very long time. Enabled Industry 4.0, and then all of a sudden that was affecting the goods getting out to the markets. So let's test the theory and let's turn off Industry 4.0. And let's see if we have worker problems in industry, but not abandonment and goods problems in the rest of our commercial areas. Because that definitely, I had been having very few problems citywide, and now we can see that there's a ton of problems with, it's all goods related. They're not getting enough goods to sell. Now, technically, Industry 4.0 should have increased production, I believe. Let's look at that one more time. Increased production output by 50%, but reduced workplaces. So I don't know what's going on there. Got to find the right balance. Unemployment's at 13%. That will probably creep back up. But then again, we've added more spots for people to work. It's just for lower educated people, which we don't have in our city. We do have the one university, so maybe if we don't meet the capacity and we let some people skip out on university, that's one way to do it, because we have way more than we need for the level that we're trying to achieve. So maybe we'll let the university get maxed out. Some people just have to go to work in industry and not get a higher education. We can always, at some point, too, turn this one back on and provide another 4,500 student capacity. It's interesting when you look at the size of this, right? So let's zoom out, look at the size of that university building compared to the size of this campus. This campus supports less people than that one university building. So I guess they're not living here. That's probably not, there's no dorms in here, it's just classes. People are day commuting. We're so close. We're so close. I'm going to turn my TV volume up a little bit. I often play totally silent. Sometimes I wear headphones, sometimes I do not. I'm just sitting here in complete silence so I can talk in the microphone and not have it pick up other sounds. By the way, last few episodes, I am trying a new microphone this week. Previously, I was using the Audio-Technica AT2035. And I've switched to using a Samsung Q2U, something like that. It's a combo USB XLR mic, but I find that because of the windscreen, it's a little bit more muffled. It doesn't have a pop filter the same way that my other microphone does. Arguably, it's not as good of a quality mic, but it has that USB connectivity. It's nice and flexible. It's a decent handheld, and it's a dynamic, so it doesn't pick up anything that isn't being directly addressed to it. In theory, that's a little bit better for noisier environments. I don't have one of those, but I wanted to put this microphone through the paces and hear it over a couple videos and see what happened with it. So, sorry for the... Okay, we're so close. We're so close. I had to have a little squirrel moment there because we're killing some time until we get to the end of the academic year. And then we gotta... Maybe we'll pause it and see if we can catch a toga party happening. So, assuming we have a successful academic work, which we've got, I think, an 80% chance of, we should be good. We don't have any buildings contributing to the success of academic works. I think that is libraries. I'll have to double check that. Now is not the time to check. Now is the time to wait. Budget, $840, 10,000 bucks. You can see it's fluctuating absolutely all over the place. I bankrupted the city the first time I dropped campus on there, but I expanded way too big, way too fast, and it was before the patch that they released that allowed you to turn off the Collider University impact. So had I really dove into it and troubleshot at the time, I would have just deleted the Collider or turned it off. Now you can just turn off the University effect, which is nice. Okay, keep an eye out. See if you see any togas running around. Look at all the people. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of all the people, look at this. All right, hold on. We're going down single play speed. We're going down to ground level. We're getting in on this toga party. Toga. Where are we going? Why are half of you going that way? Don't you want to... Aren't we throwing a party? Or are we just walking around campus on togas? In togas? What? Oh, did I pause it? I was like, why did everybody just freeze? But not me. It's the Matrix. Look at this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bullet time. All right. So what's going on here? Where is this? Can we play at 2 times speed? I can keep up with 2 times speed. Can I keep up with 3 times speed now? You can't do that in cars. Like, you can't keep up with cars at 3 times speed, but apparently pedestrians can keep up with it. So where are we going, people? Are we just walking around? Just walking around the campus in togas? This is not a toga party. This is a toga charity walkathon. All right, so we've unlocked School of Medicine commencement office. We can actually have graduation celebrations now. University library. I'm pretty sure that one contributes to the success of academic. What did we learn from our research grant? Carbon sink. A group of environmental students discovered a way to build artificial reservoirs to enable carbon offset. Very handy. Academic works created 3 on appropriate titles for academic works. Original study and conclusion, appropriate titles for academic works. Advanced death care. How to avoid and mitigate death waves in mass migrated societies. Cute. Colossal complex. A psychological study of famous city mayors. 2 toga parties. The partying spilled to the streets outside the campus area, but luckily there wasn't too much property damage. Students used the campus flower beds as a resource for crafting bedazzling laurel wreaths to complete their toga looks. Alright, well, toga party not that eventful. Didn't even see a single keg in sight, kind of disappointed. Alright, so let's go look at what we unlocked here. Since it is a new academic year, let's fund some more research, just because. We'll do a discovery. We'll give. We need a ton of attractiveness, but we're going to drop in a bunch of different buildings right now, so hopefully we'll be able to get there. Let's see what we unlocked. So we had the outdoor study hall. The gymnasium we dropped in right there. I feel like we dropped in a cafeteria over this way, right? Is that the cafeteria? Study hall? Cafeteria. Okay. So we'll use this back street to drop in some of our additional buildings. We did the fountain. We do not have a university library. Let's see. Library is a great place for teaching and for up-to-date information. Libraries increase land value, campus attractiveness, and boost campus area's student capacity. Building needs to be placed within the campus area. Okay. Can we get that? We can't get that on this block, can we? Let's do this. We'll do on the back side of this block. Up next is the Math Club. Math Club emphasizes on having fun with mathematics while learning. Whimsical number games to mind-boggling math problems. Math Club increases campus attractiveness. So yes, please. I think this is, it's a smaller building. So where can we cram this one in? Can't get that in the back side of that, can we? Yeah, we'll do it right there. Again, I'm dropping these on roads, but these could just as easily be dropped on footpaths. So maybe we'll kind of rebuild it later on. University Commencement Office. How big is this? This is a big one, right? Right here? Right there. So that way we don't have to level any terrain just now. So there's where our graduation ceremonies are held, which we'll start to see soon, I imagine. We've only have 2-year students so far, so. Academic statue. Can we? Be awesome if we could orient this the way that we wanted. It will let us put this here, but is it going to complain about no footpath access? And I wish I could orient it the other way, but for now, from at least afar, it doesn't look too bad. Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure my game just crashed. Okay.
5 minutes later.
So a quick update. Once I had finished recording this episode, I let the game play on 3x speed for a while because I needed a bunch of academic works in order to get to the next level, and in turn, the level after that, the prestigious level for my university. And I hit both at the same time. So if we jump into Inspector and take a look, I am now a prestigious university, or I should say Woodgarden University is a prestigious university. So we have 17 of 16 academic works, 2,143 out of 1,800 students, and campus attractiveness is above 1,800. So the only thing we need to maintain at this point to keep our prestigious level is student capacity. But if that does drop down below 1,800, we will lose a level until we can maintain that. So it may go up and down, but we now have a prestigious university. So I figured I would take you on a quick tour just to show you what happened. Dropped a bunch of stuff in. There's an achievement for having 10 dormitories. So I dropped in a 10th one over here. Didn't really need it, but when they're on the roads, you can see that cars will park. That's not a dormitory. Where did I drop in number 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that a dormitory? What's the front of the dormitory look like? There's another dormitory over here. Is that a dormitory? This one over here. That's a dormitory. So there's 10 dormitories. That is an achievement. There's also an achievement for dropping in 5 varsity sports arenas. So we have our basketball arena. We are the Chirpers, by the way, here in Woodgarden. We've got our track and field. We've got our baseball, which these bases are ginormous, especially second base. We have our aquatics center. And then we have our American football field with these enormous dead spaces on either side of the end zone. I'm not sure what that is all about, but seems like a lot of wasted real estate to me. So in order to get up to prestigious, again, you just basically need to maintain those 3 things about your university. Academic works just takes time. It happens faster if you put more funding into it, and I kept my academic budget all the way up and gave research grants every year, start of every academic year, just threw out research grant, and I got a 90% possible academic work creation, and I had really good luck with that. So that one's easy enough, and we've created enough academic works. Have I started a new one? So let's do another one for this academic year, which just got started. Yeah, just got started. Varsity sports wise, you can also choose to fund. I shouldn't say fund. You can change the ticket price. You can fund cheerleading and coaching budget. So the better or the more coaches you have, increases your chance of winning. Winning increases happiness and increases financial gains for the city. And cheerleading sort of does the same thing. Increases varsity sports attractiveness effect. So if you're having trouble meeting the attractiveness, you basically just need to drop in a bunch of buildings. I have a couple duplicate copies of things. I think there's a second library. There's multiple outdoor study halls. It didn't make sense to have more than one commencement area, but just drop in a couple extra copies of buildings and it'll help you get to that level. But you do need to maintain these levels, unlike parks, which you can pull stuff out of. So that, just keep that in mind. I do have some problems happening in my city, and we will revisit this at some point. But this week was all about just getting down to the Woodgarden University, getting this upgraded. I wasn't expecting to hit prestigious, but that is another achievement as well. So all in all, I enjoy the campus DLC. It's sort of like Industries for Education. And when you drop in all the schools, so the School of Law, the School of Medicine, the School of something else over here, they give you little bonuses in your city. Let me actually see. Let me pull up. Let's see what bonuses we got before I forget. So the School of Law helps crime rate and police department upkeep is reduced throughout the city. Increases attractiveness, acquires a campus area. School of Medicine makes healthcare run more efficiently with increased ambulance count and patient capacity, which wasn't a problem anyways, but School of Science, income from all specialized industries is increased while reducing pollution and electricity consumption. So that's a pretty cool one because we have a lot of specialized industry here with, of course, seriously? Come on! We have a lot of specialized industry. So I dropped in some generic farming industry. I shouldn't say generic. I think this counts as specialized also, but definitely the, I would assume the farming, the oil, the forestry, I would think that counts as all specialized, but even if it doesn't, we've got some dedicated farming industry kind of spread around the farms, just kind of doing that. So that helps out with those bonuses. We'll do a different type of university in the other cities. So I'll have a look through and see which ones will benefit, and we'll kind of do the same thing. We'll design a university campus. When we come back to Woodgarden, which we will, this is my favorite city, by the way. I'll tell you in a minute. But when we come back to Woodgarden, we'll move some of this stuff around. I won't delete it. I'll make like a temporary space for it, and we'll rethink this campus because it is a little bit cobbled together. But just to kind of give you an idea here, let me see if I can do a cool slow panning camera shot. We'll start here. We'll make our own cinematic with a very slow controller movement. All right, I can't even talk while I'm doing this. I gotta maintain even pressure. But hopefully you enjoyed this week of the city's content. We'll go back to Springdale next, and then Winterfell after that. The reason that I started with Woodgarden is because I love this city. I didn't realize at the time that this is my oldest city, technically, by in-game date. So we are in 2050, and I've apparently spent the most time on this one. What it is when I was trying to upgrade and level up these different industry areas, I was letting it play on 3 times speed for just forever, trying to get workers in there, trying to get unit production going. And I didn't do them all at the same time, so I was letting this play at 3 times speed forever to get it ranked up. And then working on this one separately, letting it play at 3 times speed. So I did that a few times. We have forestry, oil, farming, and ore. So that contributed to how old my city is. I don't think I spent the most time on this one. I think it's just the longest in-game running time, basically, that got me to 2050. Springdale, which we'll go to next, which is my Central Park city. It's over 200,000 population, has the giant Central Park, and that one is 2049. And then I want to say Winterfell is like 2045 or something like that. So I posed the question in the Discord today, what is your oldest city by date? I've jumped around to so many different cities. Ignore it. We're going to fix those pop-ups. Those actually just cropped up from some of the policy changes I made. So we'll get all that stuff sorted out. Maybe what we could do is we'll take a quick walk around here. Quick walk around the campus. Where are we? We are the chirpers, so it only makes sense that Chirpy's the one walking around here. Although they won't stop doing cartwheels. There we go. That was a good jump. So yeah, just to kind of get a feel for our campus. So we've got the giant school over there. I think that's the School of Medicine that was dropped in last, that enormous building. We've got a little bit of commercial space here on the main strip. The university headquarters there. Bookstore. I guess I could play it. So that it's not everybody's not just frozen on pause. But I had some fun with this one. So let me know what you think. We're going to do this at least 2 more times. I'm going to go back to Springdale and Winterfell. Who knows? Maybe Santa Rico at some point. And Rockdale and Lakefield and all the cities that I've been working on. I still have save games for most of them. I think I lost one of them. And I definitely lost... Hey. What are you doing with your budget knockoff chirper costume? If there was a way to punch, I would totally do it. Just knock your green head right off. Get out of my campus. My campus. Seriously, get out of here. Alright, he's not listening. We'll go file a police report. Imposter on campus. I wish the textures were a little bit better down here on ground level. You know, some of these are really flat, unfortunately. But that is the consequence of playing on console. But again, hopefully you enjoyed. I just wanted to add this little addendum to the end of the episode. Let's see how big the football stadium feels if we're in the middle of that. That does not feel like 10 yards. That scale is off. Either that or Chirper is ginormous. So that's unfortunate. It still feels like a big stadium. It just definitely does not feel like those are 10-yard segments. Baseball field, I thought, felt a little bit more natural. I went and stood around. Let me see if I can find the guy. I was standing on the field in the middle of a game, actually. They will play games. And one team just routs the other. Bases loaded. Just single after single. Yeah, this guy. This is the guy. And I was just kind of walking around the field, pretending to be the umpire. Look how big second base is. That's not right. You can lay down that thing. It's a bed. But all right. Enough distraction. Enough distraction. That's a good spot to end Woodgarden for now. We will be back to Woodgarden. We will be back to Portsmouth. Portsmouth first. So we're going to do 2 more weeks of university builds so we can get a look at some of the trade school and liberal arts mechanics. So we'll build those into 2 more cities before we jump back into Portsmouth in the PC Let's Play. But hopefully you enjoyed this Woodgarden University week. And tune in next week for Springdale, and we'll drop some stuff in there. We're going to have to clear out a spot, most likely, because that is a pretty dense map, if you remember. And if not, tune in on Monday to find out. New videos Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Check back for more. If you enjoyed this video, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe and consider hitting the bell to get notifications. And if you want to get involved in the discussion, follow me on Twitter, or better yet, join the Discord and come chat with like-minded fans of cities and of the channel over there. Until the next one, though, when we will revisit Springdale, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.